Hey, it's Elz here, and I'm with JD for the In the Bag podcast, and I'm joined by the incredible Snoochie Shy.
Oi, oi.
Welcome.
Hello, you alright?
Yes, how are you?
I'm alright, you know, I'm good.
How's life in general?
Life is cool, life is good. Keeping myself hydrated at the moment. We've just been having an interesting chat out there, so, you know.
About everything.
About horsemen, about a lot of stuff, really.
Horsemen, centaurs.
Is that what they're called?
I think so.
Yeah, centaurs, basically.
Centaurs, chickens.
Exactly.
Under the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like going on boats?
I went on a cruise ship. For like 2 weeks, and then it was nice because you wake up in a different country every day.
Yeah.
But didn't really like jump off and go for a little swim.
No.
And like I wouldn't do scuba diving. I don't think I would do scuba diving.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I just don't really like the sea.
Yeah. Do you like swimming though when you're on holiday?
Yeah, I love that, but only for like a little period of time.
Mm-hmm.
You just jump in and out. So I want to talk to you like about your story, because I know what it's like being someone that interviews people. Typically you don't really get interviewed yourself that much, and I know you said you don't really like being interviewed that much, but I think it's good to like start like when you were young. Were you always chatty? Were you shy? Were you always quite loud in class?
I would say when I was younger I was very shy, and my mum used to do all the talking for me. So like if I had like a problem or something like that, my mum would always be the one that would just like go into the school, talk to people for me and stuff like that. So I always had like my mum to rely on. And then I think as I like grew up, I kind of come out my shell a bit. I think when I first started presenting, one of the first people that I met was Poet. And like Poet will tell you, because Poet tells me this all the time, but basically when I first met Poet I wouldn't even look at him in the eyes because I was so, but I think it's because like I grew up watching Poet as well, and I was like, oh my god, like when I first met him I was like, oh my god, it's Poet. But he was like terrible with eye contact, like he didn't really like speaking and stuff. He actually thought that I didn't like him.
Oh really?
At first, but I think it's because I was just so shy.
You were nervous, yeah.
So I think as I've got older and stuff, I've just learned, I've understood myself as a person, and now I'm not really as shy as I used to be. Like I'm still quite reserved sometimes, but I think I've kind of like got out of it.
With people that present or interview people, it's like more about how you can interact with that specific person, because you get different people, like you interview different people all the time, as I'm sure you know. And I think when you're young and you're maybe shy, or people think you're shy, because I was the same. Like I honestly didn't really talk to anyone until I was like 11 years old, and everyone thought I didn't talk, but I was just watching and like learning how different people act and how different people respond to things. So I think it's really important, like as an interviewer, to be able to read signals from people and engage with them.
I feel like I definitely prefer interviewing people and getting to know about them and stuff, but also I feel more confident when I'm like on camera or I've got a mic in my hand as well. I don't know, it's weird. I feel like I'm how I am with my like best mates when I'm like on the mic or in front of a camera. So it's kind of weird. Sometimes, like I remember when I first started, I used to interview people, and I'd just be so shy. Like before the camera started running, I'd be so shy to even like be like, "Oh hi, how are you? Like how's your day?" And then when the cameras roll, I'd be calm. I'd be like, "Yeah, like we're getting on like mates." You know what I mean? And then after, I'd be cool because then we've just had that talk on camera and stuff. But yeah, before I was just like,
it's like small talk. I really can't deal with small talk. It's like, "Hey, how are you? How's the weather?"
The weather is crazy outside. I think as soon as you hear weather, I'm just always like, I don't want to hear it. Like, let's not talk about the weather. I think convo's going downhill, mate. Let's talk about farting or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Let's switch up.
It is true, because when you talk about stuff like that, like farting or something that makes people laugh, it really relaxes them, because they're like, well, we've skipped like 5 topics of conversation and just gone straight to it.
Let's just go straight to it. I mean, everyone farts at the end of the day, so we might as well talk about it. We can all relate to it. So I think
it's true.
That's a conversation starter.
When you was at school, obviously we had to do public speaking and things in English, and you do presentations about stuff. Did you always enjoy doing stuff like that, or
no?
Hated it?
I hated doing like public speaking. I actually still not good at public speaking now. So like I've done like events where I've had to host like a presentation or something, and I feel like I don't like it. Do you know what it is? I feel like when I see all these people looking at me, then I'm like, oh my god, like they're actually there. Like I don't know, it's a really strange feeling. I feel like if I got asked to do like a TED talk or something like that, I'd probably just faint or something. Yeah, like I think that really scares me. But I used to love doing like drama and like photography and stuff. But in terms of like getting up and speaking in front of the whole class, I was always like, nah, I don't want to do it. So
you said the first job you did, was that with Poet? Was that literally the first ever presenting job you did, or what was your first sort of foot in the industry? How did you get into it?
So I started off working for Rewind magazine, so I was doing like fashion assistant and stuff like that. Wanted to be like a stylist, and then I realised that I can't style anyone. I can just dress how I dress, and I kept trying to style people like how I dress, and it's like, no, that's probably not it. So I realised that styling ain't for me. And then I did like was like a collaboration with Adidas, and it was like a party for London Fashion Week. So it was my blog at the time, yeah, it's Shy times Adidas, and I styled like a lookbook for that. And then I met these guys at the party, and they was like, oh, hey, have you ever done presenting? And I was like, no, what? Like, what? That's all mad. And then, yeah, I met up with them again, and we started this online YouTube channel. It's called Rep Video, and I used to host a show called Rep Video News, where it was just like the news on what's going on in like the UK grime and rap scene. And then I did a thing called the Gigs Report, and this is like when Gigs went away for a bit, and I was basically spoofing his videos and trying to find him. Obviously we knew where he was, but I was like trying to find him, so going to his like old locations for videos and like making it look like I was like stalking him basically. And then when he came out, he had messaged me. I'm pretty sure he said something like, oh, my mum's told me that there's like a girl looking for me, like you are jokes or whatever. And then I was like, what the hell, because I'm a massive fan of Gigs as well. And I was like, what, Gigs has messaged me or whatever. And then yeah, when he came out, we did like a spoof together, and that was like the finale of the Gigs Report. Like she's basically she's found him or whatever. So yeah, that was like the first thing he did when he came out, in terms of like videos and stuff. So that was cool. So yeah, I started off doing Rep Video and basically the Gigs Report. So what social media was this? Because obviously this might have been a few years ago. So when he come out, what did he message you on? Was it Instagram? Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. So yeah, I was doing Rep Video on the YouTube. Yeah. And then yeah, this was on Twitter. This was probably about 7 years ago, I would say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like when you had like Instagram, you used to put like them sepia filters on all your pictures, man.
I remember that. And you didn't like drag the filter down or anything. It was just full filter.
Full sepia, massive frame, like those kind of ones, man.
So how did that feel then? Because obviously, as you said, you're a big fan of Gigs. Receiving the DM, was there verification back then or anything?
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't actually remember because that was a while ago. But I think the fact that I just saw official Gigs, I was just like, what the hell, man? What? Especially as I was just starting out as well, so I was like super gassed. But I think when I met him, I was like, I don't even think I really spoke to him too much because I was just too shy. Yeah. Like now when I see him, like I can have a conversation and stuff, obviously, because like I said, like I'm not as shy now. But yeah, I think I was just like. And that's basically what the video is. It's basically me like with my mouth
being
like,
starstruck.
Yeah. So that was like the spoof really, and he basically told me to get the fuck out of the studio. So yeah. But yeah, no, that was fun. So yeah, that's how I kind of started, and then from all of that stuff, I kind of tried to build up a show reel and like edit all my best bits together from what I'd done on Rep Video. Yeah. And I feel like I learned the basics of interviewing there as well. Like it taught me quite a lot. And then I sent my show reel to. There was like this thing called MTV Wrap Up back then. Sent it to them, and then I got like a job with them. And I was like, oh my god, this is sick, man. I've always wanted to be at MTV. Yeah. So I did that for a bit. And I was just like interviewing people for the Wrap Up. I think my first interviews with like Professor Green. And there was this woman, I forgot about this. There's this woman that made like Professor Green jewellery. Like,
what, just with his logo on it?
Yeah, she just, like, his face, like, everything was, like, Professor Green. And I remember I found her online. I was like, what? This is sick. Like, so I went to her house, and it was really, really far away, by the way. And I just went into this lady's house. She's got so much, like, Professor Green jewellery in the house. I thought, yeah, this is it. Don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but I thought, yeah, I'm going to get all this. Took it, gave it to Professor Green in an interview. And I think he was a little bit like, what is this? Like, why are you giving me jewellery with my face on it? But
so was he aware of the woman that was making?
No, he didn't know.
How did you find her then? You just
I was like eBaying. No, was that eBaying? No, I was Googling. Sorry, yeah, I was Googling just Professor Green stuff, and then it came up on eBay, and I was like,
she got good SEO then.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It came up on eBay, and then yeah, I just basically messaged her, and then found her, went to her house.
And you just rocked up to the interview with like, here, loads of jewellery with your face on.
Here's a bracelet with your face on. But yeah. So yeah, I started doing that. And then after the MTV bit, then I went to like represent radio. And that's when like I first started doing radio. I was like reading off like a script of paper because I was so nervous to like host my first show. I was like, what? This is so weird, like talking into a mic. So I used to read off the paper like my whole show. And then
did you plan the show, or was it just did they plan it? And then
I used to have like a producer, but I used to like plan it as well. And then kind of like found my feet there, started reading off a piece of paper, kind of got familiar with like what it was like to be on radio. And then from there I went to Radar Radio, and aka Voldemort Radio, and then built up Voldemort Radio, built up myself there as well.
I think that is when because I'd heard of you ages, but I think I heard of you when you'd done the Adidas collaboration, because I used to work at the brand.
Oh yeah.
But when you did, was it the breakfast show you did?
Yeah.
And you used to do the clips. I think one of them was Michael Dapper.
Oh, yeah,
or Big
yeah.
Shaq. And I think that's when I started proper seeing your content online.
Yeah.
Because when I think of you, I think of like fresh content. I think you're very good at making or doing little segments in your shows or playing games that other people don't play, or just getting people to proper participate, which I think is really good.
I like doing the games. I feel like it's good to like, I've always wanted to get people's personalities out. I didn't want to do a thing where it's just like asking. I think I watched an interview of Tyler the Creator before, and Tyler the Creator was like, I've done so many interviews where they ask me the same questions, like why don't you just ask me like what my favourite cartoon is or something like that. And then he takes like the interviewers like questions, he looks at the paper, he's like, boring, I've answered that a million times, I've answered that. I remember I watched that and I was just like, I don't want to be like that. And I think there's so many sick people that are good at doing like life story interviews and like serious interviews and stuff. And for me, I just want to have fun and like see people's personalities and let people see like the different side of them. So that's what I've always just wanted to do.
I think that's my favourite type of content to watch as a viewer as well, or listen to, because it's like you don't want to hear the same old interview like, where did you come from, like what inspires you and stuff. I want to hear people talking about stuff like, what's your favourite biscuit, what's your favourite packet of crisps.
No, I do think it's still interesting to like hear those side of stories, and there's like sick platforms that do that. But it is important to have like different kind of vibes from people as well, see different kind of sides and stuff.
So where's your name from, Snoochie Shy? Where did it originate?
It's so funny because if you Urban Dictionary it actually means, what's it mean? Marijuana is one of them. The other one is flaccid emancipated carrot. Yeah, it's just really weird. And the other one is a wet vagina.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. But
So does it mean any of those?
No, I don't mean any of those. No, just my nan used to say Snoochie to me, and then I just kind of, just really like...
Stuck with it?
Yeah, just kind of stuck with it. I had a blog and it was called SnoochieShy.com as well.
Where was the shy part? Because you were shy?
No, my name's Cheyenne.
Oh, okay.
So, it was like half of that. But I was actually born Charlotte, and then my mum changed my name when I was in year 7. So I think I was Charlotte for 11 years. And then literally first day year 7, she was going, Cheyenne. And I was like, who's Cheyenne? Who's in the house? Come downstairs. She's like, yeah, here's the papers. I've changed your name. Don't like Charlotte. Shit name. First day of school. New name, new you. And I was like, all right, sick.
Year 7?
Yeah,
and you were
7.
actually like, what, year 7? You were 11/12?
11.
So this is a good 11 years your mum was
calling
calling you Charlotte for, and then she was just like, right, change your name.
And then she just changed my name to Cheyenne, and then I remember it because like she had to sign me in. She took all the papers to school, and she was just like, yeah, this is Cheyenne now. Obviously she's registered as Charlotte David, but it's actually Cheyenne David. And I remember my friends from primary school, because they came to the same secondary school, they was like, Charlotte, and my mum was like, it's Cheyenne. I'm just like, what? Like, it's actually crazy. But the only person that calls me Charlotte in the whole world is my mum.
What, so she still calls you Charlotte?
She doesn't
now?
call me Cheyenne. She calls me Charlotte.
That's so
funny. Unless it's like a work environment, then she'll be like, well, she wouldn't even say Cheyenne, she'd say Snoochie, but she calls me Charlotte,
even though she was the one that changed your name.
I don't think I really hear her call me Cheyenne, if I'm honest.
So when she was like, oh, I've changed your name, how did you feel? Were you just like, all right,
I was kind of cool with it. I was like, do you know what, Cheyenne's pretty lit, so
it's a nice name.
I'm here for it. I think, I had Charlotte for 11 years, so try something new.
It's true.
My little brother, straight away, he just stopped calling me Charlotte as well. Like, he never...
So did people adapt really quick?
Yeah, I think so. Like, all of my mates from, like, secondary school, primary school, they all call me Cheyenne as well. Oh. So it's kind of like, no one really calls me Charlotte anymore. Except
I think
for,
maybe because they're
nan.
Quite similar, but...
Yeah.
I like the name Cheyenne.
Yeah. Like, my nan calls me Charlotte, but it's just funny to me that my mum still calls me Charlotte.
Yeah.
After she went to all that trouble. I'm just like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So you went from Radar... Radar died, like whatever happened. Yeah. Then you started at the BBC. How long was the gap between?
So I was whilst I was at Radar, I was doing the One Extra residency.
Okay.
So I started doing that, and that was fun. It was like being on air once a month and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to be on BBC, so this is sick. And it was cool because I was allowed to balance both the Radar thing and One Extra. So I learned quite a lot doing that. I think I did the residency for 8 months. Then after the residency finished, I was like depping quite a lot, like of daytime shows and stuff. I was covering for like Yasmin. I think I did like Mr. Jam's show as well. But in my head, I knew that I always wanted to have a late night show because I feel like I just like to get away with a lot, and I feel like I'm a little bit cheeky. So I was just like, no, I want to have a late night show. And then I think I did the depping probably for about a few months, probably about 6 months, and then they told me they was going to give me like a Monday slot, which would be 1 till 3 a.m. And I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, I've always wanted to do that. And then I got called in like probably a couple months after that. And I was like, I know we told you we're going to give you Monday 1 till 3 a.m. but we actually want to give you Monday to Thursday 11 p.m. till 1 a.m. And that was like the slot that I've just always wanted to have. So I was like super excited about that.
It's a good start because people still awake.
Yeah. And I literally found out, I think they pulled me in way with the BBC, so they'll pull you in for a meeting, they won't tell you what it's about. Just go into the room, like your agent's there and stuff, and then they just tell you, oh, this is what we want to do you want to do it? You'll go, yeah. Then they take you down to go get press pics and stuff like that, and then you can't tell anyone. So I think I had to cover Yasmin that day when I found out. So I was like super excited. I was like, oh my god, but you just can't tell anyone.
You can tell her.
Yeah, until it gets like announced and it comes out.
Oh my gosh. But, so how is that? Because I feel like in radio anyway, in the UK the ultimate is to get on BBC, isn't it? Whatever field you're in, you could go sport, you'd be 5 Live, BBC Radio 1, 1 Extra. So for you as a radio presenter, how was it when you were just like, you found out you've got your own show?
I definitely cried about that. I know I wasn't supposed to tell anyone, but obviously I called my mum. So I called my mum, is literally in tears. Like, it's just because it was like something that I felt like I'd worked for so long. It was just like, oh my god, like this is just like sick. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and there's been so many times before where I've like wanted to give up, and I thought, oh, like, you know, I've been doing this for like 7 years or something. Like, I'm not getting to where I want to be. Like, this is so long, and I've been told no's like so many times. I think Davina McCall said something, and she's like, when I first started, I had like 37 letters of rejection, but it didn't make me stop going for it, because even now, like, because I kept going, all of those companies have since then gone on to employ me. And I think when I listen to that, if I'm ever feeling down, I'll watch that interview again, because it just makes me want to keep going and stuff. But yeah, I was definitely super gassed when I found out about the show. I think it's, as I said, it's like the show that I wanted, and I feel like they've, especially for the BBC, they've definitely given me a lot of like free range to do what I want to do. Like, we drink on the show, we swear on the show. I think before
it's good for the BBC.
Yeah, I think before it was like, before I started, it was like, it's going to be 50% your music and then 50% playlist. And now that it's just like, I can play what I want, so it's like 100% my choice selection. I can have on like who I want as well, and it's just good because I can like push new music and also have my mates on, just have a chat. So
that's really good. Yeah, it's like the ideal scenario.
You need to come on.
I know, I should come on.
Yeah, you should come on.
So you obviously have a lot of guests on your show. I think you have like one nearly every show anyway.
We tried to go one a show, so he was having like 4 guests a week, and then at some points we was doubling up as well, so having 2 guests a day on a night on the show as well. So we've definitely had quite a lot, but I think now I've said like, let's go for like 3 guests a week and stuff, so we can have like one solo show to like breathe.
So how do you do the solo shows? Because you said earlier, obviously your first radio was on MSN and you were reading off a card. So how do you go from reading off of a card to, you're essentially just talking to yourself on air?
Do you know what? I've got the team in my in the room now as well, in the studio. So I've got my producer John T. I've got I don't actually know what his like term is, but Eamon's in the room as well, so he's like part of production and like videos. And then I normally have another assistant producer in the room as well, and I like to get everyone on the mic anyway. So we kind of like, I host the show and I chat, but I kind of have everyone on the mic giving their input as well. So it's kind of like, I just feel like it's like a family, and we're just all chatting and stuff and giving our opinions on stuff. I feel like the show's quite podcasty as well. We just talk about loads of like random,
whatever.
And then people tweet in, get a lot of sexual tweets from people tweeting in. I guess it's that time of the night, do you know what I mean?
It's that like hour.
Sometimes it's a full moon, people might be in their fields, I don't know. But like, I don't know, I talk into the mic like it's my mates, and I feel like because people are locked in and people tweet in and they interact with the show, and they'll be like, oh, that's funny, or they might give their opinion on something I've said, and they might be like, what you want, whatever. I just feel like I'm just talking to like a bunch of mates. And also at the same time, like, I get listeners that constantly lock in every show, so I just feel like I'm just chatting to them. So
let's talk about your cat then quickly. So Magnum. Is he named after the tonic wine Magnum?
Magnum is definitely named after Jamaican tonic wine.
There we go.
It's a lit drink and he's a lit cat, so it just made sense really. But I actually put on my Instagram because I didn't know what to name him, and I put on my Instagram like a little question thing, what should I name him? There was quite a few weird names, but Magnum actually got brought up about 3 times, and I was like, do you know what? Magnum's actually pretty sick.
It's a good name.
Yeah. So yeah, named him Magnum.
The highlight reel on your page. I was laughing by the first one because the first one was like him blurred and he's just like ready to pounce.
Yeah.
And the second one is him just pouncing at your face.
He's just very strange. Like my friends always say, is he on drugs? Because like he's just always crazy. He's always crazy.
What is that It's catnip, isn't it? When that makes him go so hyper.
He doesn't even have catnip. That's the joke. He's just naturally like this. I'm just like, okay. People, like, my friend was like, I'm going to bring catnip over. I was like, no, please don't, because this is going to get worse. It's going to get worse. But yeah, he plays fetch. He actually, like, if I leave the bath, like I can't leave the bath running and just leave him. Like he has to be in another room because he will jump in the bath and swim.
I thought cats don't like water.
He loves water.
Okay.
Yeah, so he jumps in the bath. Like I've gone in there, watched him swim. He actually can, which I've stopped him from doing because some people are like, oh my god, yeah, it's cool, but I don't want to do that. He was actually using the toilet, not flushing it obviously, but actually like
as a
yeah, as in using the toilet, like
wow.
pissing in the
So
toilet.
he's properly
and I was
trained.
just like, do you know what, it's cool, but at the same time I don't think I want to
share my toilet with my cat.
And then all of a sudden the cat's there, like, so I was just like, no, just go in the litter tray, mate. You can do that. Like he does quite a lot of things actually. But
I thought it was funny when he's trying to attack your eyelashes.
Yeah, that's the one thing. If I get like fake eyelashes on, he just rips them off. So I just feel like there's no point anymore because he just like, I'll be asleep and I'll just wake up to him batting my eyelashes.
What does he think they are? Just like
I think
a
he thinks
toy?
they're spiders. Yeah,
Oh,
so same with my nails. Like I think anything that's like super long, he's just like, what? Like what is that? Like it's just weird. So yeah, the eyelashes I can't put on fake eyelashes, like the actual extensions, because he just bats them out. So there's no point.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So would you ever make him an Instagram account?
People keep telling me to make him an Instagram account, but I don't know. Like I just haven't.
Just share it on your.
Yeah,
one.
I've just got my highlight reel of him, but yeah, maybe one day I'll make him
Magnum.
one.
We spoke about Poet earlier. Obviously, you guys work together a lot for MTV and other stuff. How important is it to have chemistry with the person you're presenting with?
I think it's very important because it can come off on screen. So if like you, like I don't know, like if you was working with someone and you actually don't get on or something, it could probably, obviously you'd keep it professional, but I think you'd probably end up telling. I just feel like with me and Poet, like he's like my big brother. So I think it's so funny working with Poet, man. Like everything is just jokes. Like we find everything funny, and to be fair, I don't really know how we've got a job together because like it takes us so long to just get something done, but we still get it done. But it's just funny. But I think it makes everything easier if you've got chemistry and stuff, because then like the viewers can see that and feel engaged with it as well. So
I think you enjoy what you do more as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like I look forward. Sometimes like I love going to MTV, but like sometimes I'll go there and I'm like, I can't wait to see Poet, man. Just have like a conversation, tell him what's been going on, what's been happening, and just like catch jokes and stuff. Yeah. So yeah. It is fun.
I think as a viewer it's really important as well, because you'll be like, when I watch you two, like you get on well, and you know that when you're laughing it's really genuine, because there's some people, not going to say any names, but like there's some people and you're watching them, you're like, oh, you can just tell that they've been given some bullet points and they're just there like, oh. I
think it's always important to just make it your own and stuff. Like we get given like, so we do have like an auto cue, which like reads what we're supposed to be saying and stuff, but we always do like a read of it before we do the actual take, and then we just switch it up into our own words anyway.
Is there anyone you'd get starstruck by? Because obviously you interview people all the time, so you just get used to it after a while.
Yeah, definitely be Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, Jim Carrey. I just love Jim Carrey, man.
I love his interviews as well. Yeah, he's so funny.
I honestly wish, if there's one interview I wish I could have done, it was where was it? Was it like, I don't know, I think it was for E4. I can't remember where he was. I think it might have been some fashion awards thing, and he was just like, we're not even here, man.
Yeah, we're not even real.
And I felt like, I just wish I did that interview, because I would have, that's
How would you respond to that though?
I would just been involved.
We're not real.
I was like, we're actually not. Like, I've just been involved with that. So Jim Carrey, I love him. Probably Juicy J as well. I would
love to do Juicy J.
I just love Juicy J. Like, I don't even know what I'd sit there and talk to him about, but I just listen to Juicy J every day.
I love him. Do you know when Meg Thee Stallion first came out? I didn't even know he managed her or anything. As soon as she started rapping, I was like, she sounds like Juicy J. I think similar flow, everything.
Meg is lit, and I like the fact that they're working together and stuff. Like,
yeah. You can definitely hear him in her music.
Yeah, I just think Juicy J is lit, man. Like I always listen to him on datpiff.com all the time. So yeah, Juicy J, and who else? I literally said someone the other day, but I can't remember who it is. Oh my god, Rihanna, obviously. If I saw Rihanna, I'd be on the floor. I wouldn't know what I'd do. I wouldn't even want to interview her, because I'd just be on the floor. I wouldn't be able to say anything. I'd just be like, and everyone that's said that they've met her before just always says that she's got like a mad like
Everyone says that she smells really nice. You know these threads on, you know, on Twitter, people make threads sometimes. Someone was like, this is a thread about everyone that said how good Rihanna smells, and there's just all these celebrities being like, she just smells amazing.
Oh, I love that. I can really see that, to be fair.
We spoke earlier about, like, obviously your journey towards BBC and things like that, but I think we need to talk about, and I think it's quite important for people in the world to know, that things don't happen overnight. And I think there's this big perception, especially with social media existing, that you just get successful and you get given a radio show and you just become a presenter, but they don't see the days where you struggle and you think, oh, I've been rejected from this place. And you said Davina McCall saying that she had 37 companies that rejected her. How did you deal, like, during that process? Because there's a grind, like, there's so much groundwork before you then start moving upwards. So, like, how did you cope, and what mechanisms did you have?
I think my mum was, like, my biggest help in everything, because when I first started out, like, it's funny to me because before I even started presenting, when I was in school, my mum was always like, I think you're going to be a TV presenter, and I'd be like, how can you say that? I'm shy. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Mum, leave me alone. She's like, I think you're going to be a TV presenter, I think you're going to do modelling, and I think you're going to be a DJ. And I was just like, I was probably like 13, and I'm just like, what are you on about, bro? Like, what are you on? Yeah. But it's definitely my mum that's, like, kept me going and stuff. There's definitely been times where I'm just like, do you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, like, I just want to give up. And I've had, like, really, really, like, shit times, especially, like, I feel like when you keep, like, sending things to people and people are just like, no, or like, nah, you're cool but you're just not right and stuff. I started to think that something was wrong with me, and that can really sometimes, like, take a toll on you mentally as well. And then it was giving me, like, anxiety and stuff. And I remember I lost a job, like, I was doing, like, a presenting job, I think it was, like, for around 8 months, and then I lost that job, and then they was just like, yeah, we're not going to be bringing you back and stuff. And I remember that day, I was just, like, got home to my mum's, just started crying. I was literally just on the floor like, Mum, like, I've had enough. Like, I feel like I keep starting and everything's, like, going back downhill and stuff. But she's just always been like, look, you need to just keep going, because not everything that you want comes easy in life. So you need to work hard for it, and don't let these things, like, hold you back from continuing. So I think it's just, like, having the guidance of my mum there, and, like, having her, like, as a shoulder to, like, cry on and talk to about it and stuff. Because it does take a long time.
You have to have thick skin as well.
Yeah, 100%. And there's still so much more that I want to do. There's still so much more that I want to, like, achieve and stuff. I definitely think having thick skin is important, especially, like, with social media and stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Because you can, like, I think each rejection is a new lesson. It's what you have to take it as. And it's hard, like, when you've been working on something for, like, 8 months or however long, for someone to be like, we're not gonna work with you anymore, because then you're like, it's something that I've done. Most of the time it's because they're just gonna go in a new direction. It's literally nothing to do with you. They need to refresh what they're doing. You can never take these things personally as well. Like, it's just, you shouldn't look at it as a reflection of yourself. I think, it's just important to, social media is key as well, because you could be having the best day ever. Like, you could have 100 positive messages from people being like, congrats, and you get one person that will just pipe up and be like, oh, you're not even good, or you're annoying. And then you'll focus on that comment. Whereas now, I feel like things like that used to get me down before. When I first started doing, like, interviews on YouTube and stuff, I think a lot of people was like, at that time I had pink hair, so I was like, who is this chick with the pink hair, like, interviewing all these rappers and stuff? And I remember, like, there would be comments, like, there would be, like, loads of good comments, but then there'd be comments like, yeah, she shagged him after, or she I get it,
It's just like, do you know how many guys I would have had to shag? Because I've interviewed so many rappers now. Like, you think I'm literally shagging everyone. Like, it's just, it's silly. And I think a lot of girls get that as well, which is crazy, because if a guy is interviewing a rapper, it's just like, yeah, cool. But like, sometimes with girls, like, you do get them comments. But before it used to bother me, but now I'm just like, I don't really care. Also, and I feel like no one can take the piss out of me more than I can take the piss out of myself. I'm very like free flowing. Like, I take the piss out of myself all the time. So I think I get sometimes I used to get a lot of comments about, you ain't got no tits, and I'm like, I know, I know, like, you don't, like, I know, like, I'm out here, do you know what I mean? Pancake gang, and that's just me. So I don't think you can let these things, like, can't read into them too much. You definitely got to, like, learn to love yourself and have people to talk to as well. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, you can make you go a little bit. It can become all-consuming. You need to. It's important to have people outside of social media that are just there to be like, it's not real. Because that's how you have to think of it. Because technically, it's not. Because we're just all on this device, and if
our devices got shut down, if social media got shut down, we're still alive. We're going to be breathing, and we have to just get on with our lives. So
yeah, I think like with social media, it's like it's just the highlight reel anyways. Everyone's best bits, it's everyone's best versions of themselves. It's like filtered, edited, do you know what I mean? And it's like if you're having like if your boyfriend just dumped you, or like I don't know, if you lost a job, or if you're just really upset, or you've got like I don't know, you're going through some stuff, you're not really like gonna be like, yeah, do you know what, let me put that on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like it is just a highlight reel, so you can't compare your whole everyday life to what
I
you're
saw
just
a
seeing.
quote yesterday actually, and it was really interesting, and it was to do with someone said social media has made perfect look achievable, so now real has become undesirable. So basically we go online and we see things that are perfect and we want that, so then when we see something real, like someone unfiltered or someone just doing something completely normal, we're just like, oh, it's boring, or I don't want that. And they said expecting perfection from life, friends, your partner, your career, and from yourself is the enemy of happiness. Instead of perfection, search for balance, contentment, fulfillment, and progress.
Yeah, I saw that quote as well.
I think I'm just bait posted.
Okay, I saw that quote as well. I think that is a good one, and I do think that I go for it sometimes as well. Like I might be having a bad day, and then I'll go online. I'll be like, oh, I wish like I looked like. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I might be like, oh, I wish I was a little bit thicker. Do you know what I mean? I wish I had like a bigger bum or something. Then other days I'm just like, oh, do you know what? No, I'm fine with how I am. I think we all go for it, but I think it's just like it isn't like a real like image. It's been edited and stuff. So we're comparing ourselves to like an edited image, and then when we go and get like, say if we I don't know, say if you wanted to go and get like a BBL or something like that, don't actually know if it's going to look like that because it's an edited picture. Yeah. I think if you want to do it, definitely do it. Like, it's like,
anyone could do what they want. But
yeah, I think, plastic surgery is like whoever wants to do it in it. But just got to definitely like research into that and see if it's definitely for you.
The right
and
thing.
Not get caught up in like comparing yourselves to like edited photos and stuff. It's dangerous, man.
The thing that concerns me the most is we were obviously teenagers and we had a life before social media really took over. So like we would have Facebook or whatever, but that was on the computer. Like you had to log into
MSN,
it. MSN. Oh my god, I loved MSN.
The dial-up connection.
And you had to be like, Mum, can I use the internet?
Dial-up connection. Literally, I was only allowed on MSN for like 2 hours, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that was like my designated days. That's what I had. And then I had my Nokia 3210. There was no one to chat to, so I had that. Snake too. That's what I had. But then BBM came out. And I
remember getting pins. Can I have your pin?
Yeah, can I get your pin, man? And that was like, I think that's proper the start.
That was
like,
the first like
media.
Instant. Well, obviously MSN was instant messaging, but you had to log in. With BBM, it was just there all the time
on your phone.
That was the first.
You talk to anyone. See everyone's status updates, what they're listening to, and that.
I used to change what I used to listen to songs that I knew my crush liked, so that he would message me.
Yeah, this is exactly what I used to do. Just have that playing so he knows what's going on. I think even on MSN, like when I knew that my crush was online, we weren't really speaking. Do you remember
sign in and out?
Yeah, appear offline, come online. Appear offline, come on. So you just keep ding, 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 ding.
The difference is with us, it was innocent, like it was another world, but then we had our real lives, which was more prominent. Nowadays, I really worry about the younger kids that are 14, 15, and they're in that stage where like, if I was 14 or 15 and someone commented on my photo being like, oh, you're ugly or you're ginger, I'd really take it to heart because you're like, oh my God, people really don't like me. So I'm like, what are they going to be like in 10 years time? Like, what's everyone?
Yeah, I just think it's just like, it's sad, man. I'm glad that when I was in school there wasn't like Instagram and stuff like that, because I feel like it's quite hard to keep up. Like you're definitely like a child looking at all these like older girls and stuff, and you're just like, oh, how can I
you wanted to look like them?
And I don't think we're allowing children to actually just be children and just like grow up.
It's another world, that social media. And people generally, I don't know, I think the line is very blurred nowadays between reality, like real life, and social media. 100%. There's a crossover now between like, am I actually living a real life or am I living for my social media?
I think that's when it gets unhealthy, and I think that's maybe when the app should be deleted, just for a bit to like have like a detox and stuff, and remember I think you should always have time to just chill out and focus on you and focus on what's going on and stuff in life.
So how, like, obviously when you're self-employed or presenter and just pursuing your passion, what is their work-life balance? Like, do you have a work-life balance?
I think so, more so definitely now, because so I've got like my schedule of 1Xtra, so that's like 11 till 1, and I know when I'm doing MTV and stuff, and then other random bits just like come in.
DJing, yeah.
So yeah, like I've definitely got a schedule, and I've got time to chill with my mates as well, and like see my family and that. I think like it's important that you don't always say yes to every single job. I would say, like, I think it's good to say no sometimes. Not every single thing is maybe for you, but also it's just important to make sure that you have time for yourself, and just to like sleep and like just catch up with people. That's important. Otherwise you can just get lost in it,
burnt out.
So yeah,
that's good. It is hard though, because with like a 9-to-5 job, you go in, you work in your 9 to 5, and then typically, not always, you'll come home and then you just get to do whatever.
Yeah.
When you're like working for yourself, it's like you'll be up at 2 a.m. thinking, oh God,
yeah,
what am I doing tomorrow? Like, what's next week looking like?
I feel like my sleeping pattern is just really shifted at the moment. Like, I can't get to sleep until like 4:30 in the morning now.
Really?
I think, yeah, we're finishing 1Xtra, and then I'll just wake up in the day and I'll be like, but then I'll still get home and I can't go to sleep till 4:30.
Yeah.
But
it's always the way.
Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to ask was if you want, like, what's your ultimate thing that you want to achieve? I know it's quite a cliche question, like, where do you want to be in 5 years? But like, if there's one thing that you want to do,
I would definitely want to have like I'd want to have like a game show on TV. Like, just want it to be fun. like a kind of ninja warrior type vibe, but like kind of like Gladiators, but then also Gladiators. Like a chat show as well. Just like all of this random stuff just mixed in. I just kind of want a massive giant game show, like having like members of the public on it, like celebrities as well, probably even going head to head, something like that. That would be like thick for me. So I loved Gladiators. Like, yeah.
Do you remember there was a show when we were younger called 50-50? And it was with school kids. They had 2 different schools that would come in, and there was basically like child's version of Gladiators. There's like loads of foam things. They would have to. It was so fun.
I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've seen that one.
I loved Crystal Maze as well.
Oh yeah, Crystal Maze is good.
Really loved that.
Yeah, yeah.
And what was the Total Wipeout on the water?
Yes, that's a sick one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all of them kind of vibes. I actually wanted to do Total Wipeout, man.
They have a course. I think it's in Amsterdam though.
Do they?
You can go and do actual Total Wipeout.
That's where I'm going then. Yeah. Over to Amsterdam. Total Wipeout. That's what I'm on.
Total Wipeout.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then I'd probably, what I'd want to do is like, do want to do like a collaboration with like a fashion brand probably, and have like my own line or something. I don't know. That would be quite cool. But yeah, the main thing for me is that I just want to have like a
fun game show
on telly.
Speak it into existence, and it will happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I want to come on it when you do it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll complain the whole time, but it'll be fun.
It's fine. It's fine. We love complaints, so it's good. It's good.
So one final thing before we start wrapping up is let's talk about men, because we need to. You tweeted saying the more days that go past, the more I realise that men are mad.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to say this. Not all men, but some men are really crazy, man. Like, I've had my fair share of crazy dudes in my life. But, yeah.
I think they're more sensitive than they let on.
100% they are. They definitely are. Like, I think sometimes when their feelings get hurt, they can react in a different way when really they're just like, they just want a hug, man. They just want a hug. But, yeah, I don't know, like, I've been single for a while, so.
Do you think that social media's made it harder? Because I'm just like, how do we even meet people? Because half the people in my DM requests, there's like no way.
Yeah, this is the thing. I don't know, man. Like, I was even thinking the other day, do you know what? I might even join Tinder or something, but no.
I did this I catfished myself on Tinder.
Yeah.
So I used my photos, but I gave myself a different name. And it's put me off ever going on a dating app in my life, because they weren't looking for a relationship. They were just like, oh.
Do you know what? 2 of my friends actually met on Tinder, and they're still together now. Yeah.
I have friends that have done it as well.
Yeah, they're still together now. I think they're even going to get engaged and stuff. So, yeah, it can happen. It can happen.
It can.
But
imagine, especially, it must be hard being like a well-known face, and then being like, well, how am I going to meet people? Because I leave work to go to work, or I meet people in the industry, but they're my colleagues, so that's not really an option. Then online, it's just full of people you don't know, so they could be strangers. Then you could go on a dating app, but it's like, people would recognise you on the dating app.
I feel like what's meant to be for you will be for you, and if you think about it too much, it's not going to happen. I just think one day you might be walking down the road and you might see the love of your life, and then you just move to him then and there, or he moves to you.
True.
That's how it goes. I just think everything will come when the time's right. So
just be lonely in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. But yeah.
to sort of wrap then, if there was some advice you could give to the younger people who maybe want to be presenters, because there's so many, I feel like nowadays as well, there's so many opportunities, because anyone could be anything now, especially with our online presence. You don't need a big company to employ you, or you don't need someone to give you a step up. What advice would you give to younger teenagers who maybe want to get into presenting?
I think the main piece of advice would definitely be to just keep going and never give up. But I think it's definitely important, as you were saying, to utilise social media. So I've done workshops with girls before for my presenter workshops, and I always say to them, if you want to build up a show or something, like, the internet is the place to do it. If you go out, get your friend to, it doesn't even have to be like top quality, but get your friend to film you on a camera. iPhone has sick camera quality now, you can even do it on an iPhone. Go do some vox pops, have like a trending topic, go and ask people around the streets their opinion of it, talk to them, build it up, chop it up, and make a show reel and stuff. Join YouTube. Like, if you want to be a DJ, then you can put mixes out online and stuff. Like, the world really is like your oyster. You can just do what you want to do. So I definitely think, like, for presenters, that's my main piece of advice that I give them. Like, just go out, record yourself, get used to speaking on a camera, and put yourself out there on social media. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just keep going and stuff.
Keep doing it. Don't give up.
Yeah, and also reach out to people as well. If you feel like you want some advice and stuff, then definitely like reach out to other people and ask them. So yeah.
And don't get scared by rejection.
100%.
Because people are gonna reject you. Like,
it's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I still get rejected now, so it's just like it is what it is. Like, not everything's for you, but at the same time, everything is timing. So what's not right for you now doesn't mean that it's not going to be right for you in the future.
Very true.
So just keep going for it, man.
So what upcoming things have you got? That
at the moment, like, with my extra stuff, MTV Wrapped is coming back for another season.
Oh, amazing.
But it's all switching up as well, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, so that's what we're working on at the moment, just like the relaunch. I think we're on to season 3 now.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm just like, yeah, this is sick. So yeah, that's like the big thing that we're working on at the moment, bringing that back, and then just doing the bi-weekly rate show, and then all that other stuff,
and then look after Magnum,
and being a mum to my
being
cat.
Magnum's mum.
Yeah, being Magnum's mum.
Well, thanks for joining me.
Thanks.
It's been insightful. I've learned actually a lot about you.
It's been fun, man. I've had a good time.
Well, thank you. And Snoochie Shy everywhere, at Snoochie Shy.
Yeah, everywhere.
DM her, tell her.
Tell me that you want to lick my feet. Is what we're saying. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. It's been JD in the bag. Bye bye.